All right, so today we're talking about simplifying radicals. That is something you did in geometry when you did like Pythagorean theorem, or anything like that in the trigonometry unit. You did this a lot. You should have seen it before. When we're talking about perfect squares, I've got a whole list on my whiteboard. I also have a poster over here. The numbers you see underlined in green are perfect squares. So maybe write out to the side of your notes. Perfect squares are things like, we've talked about a little bit, 1, 4, 9, 16, 5 times 5 is 25, 6 times 6 is 36, 7 times 7 is 49, 8 times 8, 64, 9 times 9, 81, 10 times 10, 100. You could keep going, obviously, and we'll use some bigger ones today, but not most of the time you'll be here, okay? These are perfect squares. If a number is a perfect square, you should be able to take the square root of it evenly. So for example, 225 is a perfect square because it is 15 times 15. So you can rewrite it as, and I would not expect you to show the work on this, but just trying to explain how the answer gets to what it is. Square root of 15 squared is technically what this is, because 225 is 15 times 15. Do you remember from geometry what happens when you have a squared and a square root? Like when you're taking, you got Pythagorean theorem, you got a squared plus b squared equals c squared. You take the square root of both sides. What happens to the squared? It goes away. These cancel. So the square root of 225, since it's a perfect square, is just 15. Please notice how the radical sign is gone. So this radical symbol, which we forgot to write at the top, radical symbol looks like this. When you take the square root of a perfect square, it should be gone, because the square root and the square root cancel out. I do not expect you to show you work on that, but I want you to try and understand that if I can take the square root evenly, that sign should be gone. Okay, if it's a non-perfect square, we want to try and divide by the largest perfect square. So you have your list. Hopefully you have a calculator. If you don't, grab one, because you're probably going to need it. 72, I'm just going to tell you what this one is. 72 divides by lots of things. 72 divides by 4. It divides by 9. But the largest perfect square it divides by is 36. Okay? So if this is you, and I'll have you do it in a second, you are going to take your calculator and you divide 72, starting at the, I usually start high and then go low. 72 divides evenly by 36. That's the largest one. It divides by. So I split this up as 36 times what? Do it in your calculator. 72 divided by 36 is what, if you need to do it in your calculator? 2. Yep. So what you're going to see me do every single time is, for the rest of the year, because we do this a lot, I will put the perfect out in front. I will put what's left over in the second parentheses. Your steps here say take the square root outside the perfect square, or take the square root of the perfect square, I'm sorry. This guy is perfect. What is the square root of 36? 6. So you write it as 6 root 2. Notice I took the square root of 36, so it is out of the root now. It is not what, why I'm like clarifying this is because I usually have students who leave it as a square root of 6 or something. No, please don't do that. Take it out of the root. Okay. Okay, so let's look at number 1. We've got some perfect squares here. 1, we could add this to the list because if I keep my list going, it would be 11 times 11 is 121, 12 times 12 is 144. So 144, sorry, I'm zooming in a lot, is a perfect square. What is the square root of 144? 12, yeah, you get 12. So you're going to do 2, and then you took the square root of that, so you get 12. When you have a number out in front already, you multiply that by whatever you get, okay? So that does become 24. I think I heard someone say that. Yep. Okay, number 2. Is 1 a perfect square? Yes, it's in your list. Is 81 a perfect square? Yes, when you have a big square root like this with a fraction, you get to split it up as 2 roots. Oh, so much better. Kind of. Okay, what is the square root of 1? The square root of 1 is 1 because 1 times 1 is 1. What is the square root of 81? 9. So 1/9 is as far as it goes. I'll box these so you know where the final answer is. All right, number 3, I don't know many factors of 112 off the top of my head, so this is where I'm going to make you do some work. So you're going to start with 112, obviously. So I've got a list of perfect squares over here too. Obviously, it's going to be a number that's less than 112. So, and probably not all the way up here at like 100, because 112 can't possibly divide by 100. So usually you divide by like what a halfway point is, meaning the 60 something. So you're going to start, whether it's at 100 or lower than that, start high and go low, but obviously it's going to be less than 112. Find the perfect square. 112 divided by 64, 112 divided by 49, 112 divided by 36. You need to find it. There is no fast way to do this. Is 16 the large one? Okay, no, okay. 16, when you divide 112 by 16, what do you get? 7. Okay, so you're going to split it up like this. You're going to have the perfect first. So 16 will go out in front, and then 7. What is the square root of 16? This is a perfect, okay, it's 4, so you write it as 4 root 7. Okay. So on number 4, you are dealing with 45, not the 9. You're dealing with 45. Can you please figure out what's the largest perfect square that 45 divides by? Again, you got to start obviously below 45. The reason why I say go start high and then go low is because then you'll catch the bigger number instead of just stopping at like something smaller than that, which would mean you have to keep going. 9? I think so. You guys agree? 9? Okay, just like the X game, this is hard if you don't know your factors, but if you do know them, it makes it a little faster. 9 times what? 9 times 5 is 45. Okay, so 9 is the perfect. I'll highlight that. You take the square root of 9. You have a question, Miles? Because it won't actually get you a perfect. Square root of 9 is what? 3. So you multiply it to the 9 out in front, and you get, sorry, I'm running out of room, 27 root 5. Okay. See if you can figure out number 5. What does it divide by? Yeah. 250 divides by 10. If you know that, then this will help you, because it ends in a 0, it divides by 10. And when you divide by 10, you get 25. So it breaks up as 25 times 10. And what is the square root of 25? 5. So 5 root 10. We love it. Okay. This one's really obnoxious. You can keep the list going. I think I did it on this whiteboard. Obviously, I can go past 144, 13 squared is 169, 14 squared is 196, 15 squared is 225. You see I have that one over there. You can keep going. This number is really big, 578. I'm just going to tell you what it is. The perfect it divides by is 289, okay? Because that is 17 squared? Yeah. So it splits up as 289 times, go ahead and divide it in your calculator. What would that be? 578 divided by 289 is 2. Okay, 289 is the perfect. Like I said, I think I'll have you make a chart at the start of class tomorrow to help you. It is 17. And then you have to multiply those numbers out in front. So 3 times 17 would get me, I don't remember, 51? Cool. 51 root 2. Ta-da! Today you have not a worksheet. You get Delta Math. I really like this Delta Math actually because it walks you through kind of the steps. And the first scale guides you through simplifying the radicals. So it's what, 9a. 9A, Delta Math. If you have more questions on factoring, I'm happy to answer your questions. But this Delta Math is pretty dang short, so a lot of kids finish it in my 5th hour.